What's going on, everybody? It's T Reaper, and I'm back from the fucking dead. Yeah, sorry about that. I was gone for, a little bit. I had to be hospitalized because some meds I took basically did not bode well with my system and basically hospitalized me for about 3 days, and had to have a spinal, puncture, and they took fluid out of my back, and it was a whole bunch of mess, and then I was bedridden for a whole bunch of days. But I'm back now, and I'm having a whole bunch of fun because as you can see from the title of this video, I'm gonna be going off on some little shits that I kind of not want to nitpick on. Also, thank you to everybody that was messaging me in the hospital. Shouts out to KMega445. Shouts out to everybody on the YouTube community that was actually caring enough to ask me how I was doing and everything, and everybody who's giving me sage advice to lay low and relax. But I don't know if I honestly can relax when everybody is just just spouting bullshit, or just basically giving a shit what Digital Foundry is saying over that whole shit. And what about the fact that Kratos is that Christopher Judge guy from Stargate SG-1? That's actually kind of funny. I think that's actually kind of funny. But if you don't believe me, you can actually look it up. It is actually true. And I put it in the thumbnail. It's actually kind of nice. Yeah, I mean, what is there to talk about? I mean, there's before I went to the hospital, and I'm fine, by the way. I'm just trying to get my bearings. I go back to work tomorrow, so it's gonna be kind of interesting. And I haven't done a video in a while, so it's I'm not dead yet. Just coming back with a nice little statement saying that I'm not dead, but I am actually kind of impressed with how much media bias is going around. How much X crap. It's so you got one guy basically preaching indies, which is Phil Spencer. You got one guy basically turning white for Kratos, and then you got the X basically being the next Jesus coming around. It's and everybody expects, because the X is coming around, that everybody's problems is gonna be solved. And I'm thinking to myself, problems just don't solve themselves like that. It just doesn't work that way. You suddenly think because a golden goose is gonna come out of the sky that it's automatically gonna solve everybody's problems. It doesn't work that way. Just because the X is going to be released, which it's not yet, because it's not FCC approved yet, because Phil Spencer is he wants to wait for Gamescom. If he wants to wait for Gamescom, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it will boost more sales. Maybe we'll do that. But I personally want to buy that shit now, and I want to put my money down now. But I can't do that because it's not FCC approved yet, and it's not a government product yet. So can't do that. So it's yeah, you show it on stage, but I can't give you my money. Yeah, that's a smart move. And then there's all this shade, and there's shade from everywhere. But everybody was saying how the X is the mid-gen refresh, and how everybody should be happy with how this is actually performing. And I guess that's technically true in a certain point of way. In a certain form, you actually should be happy, but in another way, you have Digital Foundry tearing it with criticism, and basically comparing it with the Pro, which their newest video with the Titanfall 2 4K concept. It was kind of it wasn't really bashing it, it was more criticizing it, which was kind of funny. Hey Ace, what's up? What's going on? So it was actually kind of the amusing part. So my buddy Rotisserie Jones was saying, wow, and even Crap Gamer was actually talking about how much hate the Digital Foundry is. And I'm I don't really listen to Digital Foundry that much. I mean, they were all up on the X when they got the specs, and they were all praising it, and now they're all hating on it. So it's it's something that you turn on its axis. 1 minute you hate it, 1 minute you love it. But I'm kind of curious what kind of makes it turn that way, because it's some days you might hate somebody, some day you might actually love somebody. I guess it depends on the time of day and the stuff that they actually give them. And then they didn't actually spout on all games, and that was kind of the thing that Crab Gaming was doing, was like saying that you had all these games that, you know, were not like basically being credited for their 4K, like their 4K resolution. But in reality, the games that he was like actually mentioning were games that no one gives a shit about. So I was like, you know, that Lucky Tail bullshit, no one gives a shit about that. I don't care. Like, I really don't care. Like, it's like, hey, Next Gen, what's going on? Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. You know, it's like, no one gives a shit about that Lucky Tails bullshit. But you know, people give a shit about Shadow of War. You know, that shit's gonna be in 4K. But, you know, Digital Foundry mentioned that. But, you know, and then suddenly that Titanfall 2 that has been out since 2016 is like, can do 6K, but, you know, it's going to be reduced to 4K. I think that's actually kind of funny. Like, you know, you care more about a game that's already passed than something that's about to actually be unveiled. And then I get all these Twitter comments. Yeah, I'm coming on tonight, man. Yeah, just send me an invite, and I'll definitely come on. I'm feeling a lot better, so it's like I'll definitely have something to say. You like, hey, Next Gen, what's up with that Beast Fire and multiplayer concept that you tried to do last week? I was in the hospital and I was seeing you do that. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what the hell is this? You're trying to do a combo. Like, what the hell? Like, I was like, what the hell is this? I'm sitting like wrapped up like Darth Vader, and I'm like, yo, Next Gen, like, you make me laugh. It was funny. Where was I? Oh yeah. You had multiplayer and Beastfire podcast. You had both of them. You had both of them combined in a notification message. It was kind of funny. It was like you had it was like you wanted to bring both casts together. It was on Saturday too, which was kind of weird. It was like on a Saturday afternoon, but yeah, it was kind of weird. But like, I wasn't gonna be able to join anyway because I was like dead, like in my bed. But it was kind of amusing. But where was I? Oh yeah, so like these games like that, like all like you give more of a damn about games that Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so you have all these games that like people like care about more, but they are like games that have already come and passed. So people should give more shit about Assassin's Creed Origins, which I cannot wait to play. I can't wait to play Shadow of War. I can't wait to play the new Wolfenstein. I can't wait to play the new Call of Duty. Funny enough, that actually looks really dope. It's amazing to me how good like the actors are for like games this year. Like, but I think the funniest actor pull is what Sony did with the Kratos dude. The Christopher Judge dude from Stargate SG-1, the guy who played Teal'c, the Jaffa, is like the new Kratos, and they did such a good job with turning him white. I think that's amazingly funny. So it's like you got Sony turning that guy, you got that guy white. You got the Call of Duty Sledgehammer guys taking the guy from Transformers. You got the Sam Winter, I think is what his name is. I could be pronouncing his name wrong. From Days Gone. But yeah, you have everybody like preaching, oh, Titanfall 2 is gonna be in 6K, or like it's like it can do 6K, but it's gonna be in 4K. Like that game like came out like over like 7 months ago. Like who cares? Like care about the games that are coming out now, and like not like stupid indies like Phil Spencer wants us to give a shit about, because like who gives a shit about indies? Like I don't care. Like I want AAA titles that make me happy and make me care about quality and not actually like quality, because that's exactly what Phil Spencer is doing. Although it's kind of funny because, Phil Spencer, like he, it was kind of funny. I heard he said he gave the best experience that he could at E3, and supposedly we're supposed to get a lot more at Gamescom. But I'm like, well, what more, if you don't give me a Halo, what more could you impress me at Gamescom? Because, like, I'm waiting for that Halo or that Gears to drop, and we all know that Gears isn't going to drop anytime soon, because they just dropped that, like, last fall. So it's like, that Halo is being worked on, but like we're not going to see it until at least 2018. So it's like, I'm like, I don't know what you could actually impress me with. But I think if they had actually not canceled Scalebound and actually kept that, that actually would have been actually a little bit helpful. Yeah, there was that Digital Foundry shit. Crap Gamer like bitching about Digital Foundry, which was funny. I always listen to Crap Gamer. He's like funny. He's like the Comedy Central guy. Yeah, I'm back, Halo. Yeah, I'm back. You can hop in this Discord if you want. And then what was the other shits? Oh, and then you got the Call of Duty people like all like basically pissed off on their issues. Like you got the Call of Duty people like Thunder and Drifter and T Martin all like saying different topics that are like totally irrelevant to what they're actually supposed to be doing. Like you got Thunder, who's like a respected COD like YouTuber, talking about like incest and like basically, you know, sex in like the school community, and I'm like, why the hell am I watching this? Like seriously, that is like so fucked up and so stupid. Like I mean even even next gen and Crap Gamer make better like, you know, off topic, you know, videos than, you know, some of these COD guys. Like they take it like totally left field. It's like so funny and so hilarious that it's like amusing as all hell. And like it's like and then like this is the funny story that I was because I want to touch on this a little bit because I know this guy's gonna watch this video eventually. You guys all heard my preach about you know, internet and Xbox Live. I don't know if you guys have noticed the Xbox Live been a little glitchy late. Like I couldn't actually like load my actual Netflix or anything for like 5 minutes last night, and but it was actually kind of funny because I was having this argument on Twitter, and this argument like went on about how this guy loves Battlefield, and he was preaching Battlefield he's been preaching Battlefield for like 6 months now, and I'm like, he was like saying he uses Discord instead of the Xbox Party because the Xbox Party always like craps out on him, but he has like shitty internet. And then he was like saying, well, technically you only need a 1.5 megabyte download to work the system, which is true, you do, but you actually need a decent amount of internet to actually make the system run properly, not just what the Microsoft minimum work. Because what they did with the 360 is they kind of reversed it, because the 360 required a lot of internet to work like the actual minimum like requirement of the actual 360 dashboard, and then on the Xbox One they like I said, they reversed it, so they required like very little internet to make it work, but you still need that decent amount of internet to make it work like a, you know, a proper machine. And so like anybody who doesn't have like decent internet, please don't buy an Xbox One. I beg you. I've said this before, in my earlier years, and I'm saying this again. Like if you do not have good internet, please try to get some, because like you blaming Gold and you blaming Xbox for your crappy experience isn't really helping you if you have crappy internet. Hey Jones, I was just talking about you. I was talking about the mid-gen refresh topic. But like, yeah, like if you don't have good internet, or if like somehow like you actually like run into an issue where your system is not responding, just reset it, and make sure you actually have an external drive, because if you have to reinstall everything, that shit is a bitch. Like I'm so happy I have like 2-3 terabytes, because like I thought I was actually gonna have to like reset my system yesterday, because it might have been the actual dashboard update, or it might have been the Halo Wars 2 update or something, but like my shit was like non-responsive for like 5 minutes, and then suddenly it was like responsive just like that, but which was kind of weird. But I didn't have to reset it. It works now, which is kind of weird. So it was like sometimes you have to hard reset it. Ace, you're probably right. You know, a percentage probably wanted those indies. But I'm saying, like, you know, you gotta, like, the percentage of, like, the people that make this system, like, what it is are shooters. That's why on the screen you see Halo. So it's, like, you gotta, like, cater, like, and that's Phil's problem. Like, I could go on speeches for days about what I personally, like, think of Phil Spencer. and he like legitimately wants to please everybody. He's like the modern like Santa. He wants to please like everybody in this community, and I just don't think he can do it because it's like you're always gonna piss off somebody when you like go on an E3, and he's always talking about how he represents the whole team and stuff who do a lot more work than he does, which is true. But like it's like you're pleading to everybody, you know, that you're doing the best job you can, but yet you bring me indies. I don't want to see indies. I don't want to see that you're basically trying to be cheap, whereas like we know you all have like good quality like Halo, like Gears, like Rise, Son of Rome, like Quantum Break, or even Tomb Raider. Like we know there's like that Shadow of the Tomb Raider like coming around the corner, but we like have no idea when that is actually going to come out, or if that's even possibly going to be, you know, on Xbox. I'm kind of curious if they're actually going to pull that, because that would be kind of interesting. You know, I want to see quality over quantity. Like even if like I could only get 5 games a year, I would still be happy with the quality, because it's quality. Now it's not quality like Sony, where like it does movie graphics, but it has like shit quality in like content. Like, you know, like that Horizon Zero Dawn looks beautiful, but the quality inside the game is shit. Like it's not like that. Like you know, and then everybody likes to like shit on this game, for example. Everybody likes to shit on Halo 5. You know, says the story was trash. I'm like, I like the story. The story was okay. I like Spartan Locke. I have no issue with Spartan Locke and the twist they took there. But, you know, everybody like seems to have a problem with it. I'm like, what's your problem? But then everybody can actually then, you know, twist it and then say, well, what's the issue? What's your issue with, you know, Halo Wars 2, and what's that wrong with that story? And I'm like, well, that story just didn't really have the like it didn't really scream. It didn't really have enough like cutscene content. Like that was my only gripe. I liked the gameplay, and besides the fact that the bad guy, like, actually, you didn't actually kill the bad guy, so the bad guy lives on. That's like, you know, that's like bringing out like a bad guy you show him like once or twice, but you never get to fight him. That's like it's like I thought you took my pudding away from my cake. Like I like actually killing the bad guy. That's like so screwed up. But it was actually kind of funny. Because like everybody hates on this game, but I actually personally love this game, and it's good for competition. And then, you know, you have, you know, the diehards that, you know, love PC, or, you know, love Battlefield, that say Battlefield is better. But I'm like, I like this for the competition like level, and I'm like dying to actually get a couple more competition, you know, 1v1s. Shout out to Jay Centuries too, because, you know, he's like dogging, like, basically denying me a match, and I kind of want to record that match, because I kind of want to see who wins, even if I have an elite or not. And then, you know, we get on to the subject of the people that don't want to face you because you have an elite or you have a scuff. I find that it gives you like correct, Jones, you actually are correct. I do agree with you. That was an emotional story that actually made me cry. And the fact that they were planning 2 more after that kind of was like it's like it was like a good depression moment when like Cortana died. It was like you could like put that in like a song, and it was like you just like as like Cortana walks off screen. That was like so cool in Halo 4. The multiplayer, not so much. But I actually I was like looking through my my achievements, and I was like, I actually spent a decent amount of time on Halo 4 on 360, and I played the living crap out of that game. I have like 1,300 or something like that on that actual content, because I actually started a clan on that game. Like I was ham on that game like back in the day. But I think the multiplayer on Halo 5 is a lot better in term between Halo 4 and then Halo 5. But if I had to basically put them on a branch, Halo 2 is my favorite. I love Halo 2. But no way in hell would I ever go backwards. Halo 5 is my second, and then Halo 4 is my third. My least 2 actually are Halo Reach and Halo 3. I hate Halo 3 the most because the hit system algorithm. I hate that algorithm. So it's like when everybody like Mr. Xbot448, shout out to him, really cool dude, is, you know, preaching for, you know, a remaster of Halo 3. I don't want that. Please don't do that. I'm begging you not to do that, because if you do that, I swear to God, I'm like gonna like. Hey, Halo.
What's up?
Hey, you could actually get in here. Yeah, if you do
What's
that,
going on?
yeah, if you do that, I will like legitly kill. I will legitly kill you. Like I'm not in for that Halo 3 remaster bullshit.
It doesn't need to happen. It's unnecessary.
True, it's unnecessary, but everybody wants it, which is like not really required. Uh, what else was I talking about?
All they need to do is update the Master Chief Collection. Everybody would be happy. So
Well, no, what they need to do with the Master Chief Collection is like legitly fix it if they didn't do it already. I haven't
with
been
the online,
Yeah, the online. Yeah, Ace. Yeah, MCC. Yeah, they gotta fix those servers. They gotta somehow like make it not to like basically partially broken because when it launched, it was broken. Like you'd be sitting like in for 15 minutes in a match, waiting to get into a lobby, like sitting there, like just like I'm gonna look at my watch, like just watch the time tick by and wait for people to get in this lobby. It's like worse than COD. Like I think CODs are faster, and CODs are older. It's just kind of funny. I think you get a faster lobby switch with COD. But
yeah, I didn't really buy the Master Chief Collection for the multiplayer. I bought it for the campaigns.
oh, it is actually quite like if you can actually get into like a nice stream with MCC, it is quite fun. But the problem is they mashed them all together. They later changed it into like sections, so people who only want to play Halo 2, remastered can play Halo 2 remastered. Those who only want to play Halo 2 classic can play Halo 2 classic. Those who only want to play Halo 3 can play Halo 3, so on and so forth. Some playlists were mixed throughout the game modes. So like some like Team Slayer was mixed with Halo 3 and Halo 4 and Halo 2 and stuff like that. And then that kind of made the game kind of difficult because then you would vote for it, and then everybody of course would choose Halo 3, which would make the whole thing a whole bunch of would make the game not very fun because I hate Halo 3. So, no one would really want to choose that classical, Halo 2 style unless, everybody was on Halo 2. So it was like, yeah, I kind of want to I want that classical Halo 2 feel back. And like if you go back into my montage, like if you go like way back on my profile, like you can see those old school remastered like montages that I did like back when like MCC was still popular. But like I was actually kind of funny because Jones was actually playing Shadow of War, and that's a 2014 title if I'm actually not much mistaken, right? That's 2014. Yeah, I think that's 2014.
Shadow Mordor?
Yeah, Shadow Mordor. That's 2014, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, that was actually kind of funny because he was playing that on his PC last night. So I was trying to get him to play Halo, and he was like, oh my, I think his Xbox One S bricked or something like that. That's why I was like spending some time talking about the issues that you run across with like Xbox, just like hard reset it, because like sometimes like the issues of it will like basically overrun your system. But like I had a dashboard update because like when I got out of the hospital, I had to like legitly like update my parents' Xbox, and that thing had a 6 gigabyte update. That thing took like over like 30 minutes to update because they had like not update their downstairs Xbox in 6 months. Like that shit took forever. I was like pissed. And then I had to update my laptop like for a Windows update, and that took shorter amount of time than the dashboard update. And then I'm like, well, maybe it's just their internet because maybe the internet is slowing it down. And then last night, like I couldn't get my my Netflix to download for some reason. Like in my second room, which I never have an issue with, it kept saying mapping download, which was kind of weird. It never does that to me. And then of course, as soon as I go on Media Player, it automatically downloads the Netflix. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. So I was like,
That is pretty weird.
so I was like, that's kind of weird as hell. What's your thoughts, Halo? What do you think about the whole Digital Foundry bullshit that everybody's like basically griping about it?
I watched it, and I like my jaw dropped. I didn't see the whole video.
But it is mostly
like,
criticism, though. You would call that criticism. That's not really hate, though. I mean, if you want hate, go to IGN, right?
Yeah, but like that, like a lot of what they said like was just fucked up because they didn't even mention. Like they mentioned it that it was 1080p 60 on ARC.
Yeah,
that was connection?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they mentioned ARC. Yeah, they mentioned ARC. Yeah, they mentioned a whole bunch. They mentioned a whole bunch.
They said it like it was a bad thing.
Yeah, they mentioned a whole bunch of games, and like the main thing that they wanted to focus on was it's like you have this super like powerful console, but it's still using what the hell is that term called? It's not super sampling. It's upscaling. Yeah, it's still using upscaling. So it's like
But it was 6K. Like I don't understand the complaint.
Yeah, but not all the way through. Like some portions.
Yeah, I get that.
Not some portions can push it to 6K and then it downsamples to 4K. But it was kind of funny because they were pointing out the. Yes, I do. Yeah, new dashboard update for Xbox X. Yes, I do. I do think we will see a new dashboard update. I hope.
Oh, that's confirmed already.
Yeah, I think we will actually see a new dashboard update. I'm kind of curious what kind of differences they would do to this one because they still haven't given us our snapback. I want our snapback. I'm dying.
I want it back too.
I'm dying to like watch TV and play a game at the same time because I was trying to. Oh, also shout out to everybody who plays Diablo 3. If anybody knows anybody that has Necro gear, I would love to have some. Like, if you actually have modded Necro gear, I would, like, die to actually have some. Like, I would seriously pay you through PayPal if you actually gave me some. Like, I know that DLC just came out, like, yesterday or, like, on Tuesday. But, like, if anybody knows anybody that actually does, like, modded gear, I'm, like, dying to have actual, like, Necro gear. Because I just, like, boosted my character. So, like, I'm already I'm already Paragon again. And, like, now I'm just, like, sitting there with, like, just my Demon Hunter, and that character's all set. So if like anybody needs to be boosted, I can do that for you with my Demon Hunter. But I kind of want to like see what kind of like outfit like my Necro can do like as a OP character. But I need the gear to do it, and I don't actually know anybody that actually has that gear yet because no one has actually made it. But I'm kind of curious like if anybody knows anybody because I'm dying to actually test out that character in like full force. But I can't do it if it keeps dying. So it's like, yeah, my Demon Hunter's like the only one. Because I made a clip of us facing Belial, and he's that big like crab monster that was that prince, and then turns into the crab monster. And like me and my friend like with our OP Demon Hunters like one hit him. So it was actually kind of funny. So it's like, and we were on Torment 13, and we were like, that's the highest level. And we one hit him. It's actually kind of funny. So it's like I'm dying to do that with my Necro, but I need the gear to do it. So it's like anybody knows any Necro modders, I'm dying to actually like get my character outfitted. But yeah, it's just like it's just kind of funny because like the amount of like scrutiny that Digital Foundry had for the X was kind of like insane. Like when the special came out, like no one, like they were like basically kissing Microsoft's ass, and then all of a sudden
they weren't. I'm gonna be in defense, actually in offense of Digital Foundry. They weren't kissing ass. They had to tell you the truth. It's not like they could just lie to you and tell you that the console's shit when it's not.
But it's but they had to tell you the truth that this shit was beast, and it couldn't actually do anything better than the Pro. And then they turn around and then they basically criticize it. And it's not really hate because they're not really hating on it. They're just like criticizing, well, if it's such a powerful console, why is it super sampling? Why is it doing all this stuff like through nicks and tricks and not through natural ways of doing stuff? Which I can see full-heartedly why they're doing that, but it's just like it's kind of funny because a couple months ago they were full-hearted for it, and now now they're really going to town on the stuff like that. So it's and they mentioned a whole bunch of games. They weren't just mentioning like Titanfall 2 and stuff like that. They mentioned Ark. They were mentioning Anthem. They mentioned the Super Lucky Tales that, like I said, no one gives a shit about. But it was kind of funny because it was like, yeah, crap game. We were like basically all pissed off about it, and I'm like, no one cares about that shit. Like seriously, like no one cares. Like it's like it's just like they were all for it like a couple months ago, and now now they finally like get to see what Microsoft was hiding underneath the spec section. So it's like what makes it tick. So it's like now Digital Foundry understands what makes it tick, and now they're basically criticizing how it ticks. So that's kind of how I personally see it. Like, but not said to say it's not the best console ever, but it's just like it kind of does cheap its way to think. But I don't necessarily think the 8 teraflops is necessary though, because if it can achieve like 6K on some games, that proves it has the power. It just depends on how that power is used. So it's like, and a lot of games will be using that super sampling because that's what Anthem was doing, which is kind of
Yeah, but I don't know, man. They kind of scrutinize Xbox for everything. That game isn't even nearly done.
true. And I still think that game looks like a ripoff of Iron Man just a little bit. It's kind of fun.
Of Iron Man.
Yeah.
Does not remind me of Iron Man at all.
Oh, come on. It's like a Titanfall Iron Man. He just like he gets into the suit. It's like that doesn't remind you of Iron Man. That's kind of funny. I mean the game looks dope. It looks like a pre-survival like game like where everybody wears mechs to like survive in the wilderness, and like some people are like tanks and like basically blow shit up. So that actually looks pretty dope, but it was kind of funny. Ooh, Killing Frenzy. But yeah, I mean it's it's kind of funny because it's like while I was like just basically relaxing and chilling, everybody was like talking and like basically damage control, and then that's why the thumbnail says that. But it's just like I don't really think we actually need damage control. I think we need Unity, and not the Assassin's Creed Unity because that game is dog shit. But like actual community unity, we all have to come together and like realize that Xbox is not the enemy. They're trying to give us everything we want, and then PlayStation is just over here basically being just being dicks and not giving the PlayStation people what they want. They're not giving anybody anything for 2017. Like, what kind of people do you call that? And actually, shout out to Mr. 100 because he did a really good video. He made a point. He's like, who's more for the gamers? Is it Xbox or is it Sony? Is it Xbox who like basically tailors to the community, who actually talks to the community, or is it Sony that like just like sits on Twitter all day and doesn't say anything? Like, I actually think that's actually a good point. I guess
It's true.
I mean, it's true, and it's actually kind of funny, but it's like, it depends on everybody's like actual point of opinion, really. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's like it really depends on the. I guess it depends on the user. Just like some people prefer PC, and then some people prefer console. I mean, it's just like I personally see PC as not necessarily a dying breed, but a breed that I kind of don't want to go near. But other people love it. That's their preference, and everybody's entitled to their preference, just like everybody's entitled to their opinion. But the funny part that I wrote in the description below, which is actually kind of funny, is like, we do live in Trump America, and this America is really fucked up. So it's like we gotta find the middle ground.
That is true.
We gotta find the middle ground somehow. Like it's like you gotta give space to something, because it's like we can't sink any lower. It doesn't like how could this place how could this world get any worse? Like, just think of it that way. Like, how could we get any worse? Like, are we gonna run without power? Are we gonna run without internet? I mean, that would actually be really worse, but
That would suck.
like, that would be like absolutely horrible. But it was just like, it's just like everybody's like complaining, and everybody's like basically giving their own views, and I respect everybody's views. Everybody's views is great, but it's just like, I don't really think this is like really what we need to be focusing on, is like basically bitching and complaining. But like it's like that chalkboard, like that nails on a chalkboard that everybody hears, but everybody just ignores until it's like too late, and then like somebody has to say something. Like, I've been dying to say something all week, but I haven't been having the energy to sit in front of my computer for a certain amount of time to actually say this stuff. So it's like,
Yeah, where you been anyway?
I was in the hospital.
Like, I wonder when. Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was in the hospital. I had a spinal puncture, bro. I had to have 3 vials of fluid drained from my back.
That sounds disgusting and painful.
It was very painful. It hurt like a bitch. So it was like, and then like I was basically bedridden for like 4 days. So it was like, and then I was basically like all alone on my Xbox for like 2 days, and then I had like everybody stopping by, and everybody on Facebook wishing me well, and then like everybody, even Jay Sentries was like, he's like, get better, and it's just like, stop, he was like, stop sounding like a like a drunk and like stop sounding, you know, so like sleepy and stuff, and you know, go to sleep. And I'm like, it's like I want to get back into the action. He's like, it will come. You just have to relax. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, everybody else is saying stuff, but I actually want to talk. I actually want to say something. This is not fair.
You want to join? Yeah, gotcha.
I want to join. You know, it's just like, and then today, like, I'm feeling a lot better, but the problem is, this is like what happened to me was like I had a med mix up, so like I had a med reaction to like an acne medication, and then that screwed up my optic eyesight. So it's like, and then I was having too much pressure in my brain. So like, to get the pressure out of my brain, they had to like basically drain my spinal fluid.
Oh my god, that sounds brutal.
Yeah. So it's like that's why I was gone for so long, and then I couldn't talk because I had to recover, and then like I actually go back to work tomorrow, so it's like it's kind of nice, but like I'm still not totally recovered, but like I'm actually getting there to the point where I can actually talk again, so it's kind of nice. I haven't really played that much of anything, so like this is all like backward footage, so this is like all old. But like I have so much footage like to back up a month of like videos that it's not even funny, because I was like recording all in May, so it's like I have like so much stuff thing. I was actually thinking about putting the recording that me and you did on that zombie map where you beat me 25-19, and then I was like, I don't know if I actually want to show that. I'll show that next time. But it was kind of funny, because I was like, yeah, I gotta say something, because I was like, I've been gone for too long, and I gotta give the subscribers something. So I was like, you know, it's just like, what can I say? But what do you think about that Stargate SG-1 guy being Kratos? That's kind of funny, right?
What?
That Stargate SG-1 guy, he's Kratos.
What are you talking about?
Like that Stargate SG-1 black guy, the guy with the Jaffa on his head. He's Kratos. He's the new God of War.
I don't care who the voice actors are. I don't really care about God of War, to be honest with you. Like,
oh, come on!
I know a lot of people care about that game, but
that's so awesome. No wonder
I've never cared about God of War, like, ever. So it's not like on my radar.
Oh, come on! That's gonna be like 2018's like Golden Goose, if they actually release it. And then you got the kid speaking parcel tongue, so they got it like ripping off Harry Potter, like we were talking about like the week before, which is really funny.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the gameplay of it. It looks okay, but it is technically my type of game. It's just that I've never been a God of War fan, so.
I mean, I think it's like more like appealing to the eye than the other God of Wars. But I think it's kind of funny that they use that actor. But it's also kind of funny that they use the Transformer actor in Call of Duty. So, you know, it's like, but it's not as bad as like the Call of Duty people using like Kevin Spacey, or you know, the guy from Supergirl. So it's kind of amusing. But it is actually kind of, you know, it is actually kind of explaining why it took so long for it to like get up there, because they had to work with that actor, and that actor's been on television for like so long. He was like the iconic action hero for like Stargate SG-1 like series for like forever. So it's like, you know, I'm like, damn, he's the new Kratos. And like the old Kratos was also a black guy, but you know, they did a really good job with turning Christopher Judge white, and he's the new Kratos. So it's like they did a
he's like albino looking.
Yeah, they did a really good job. They did a really good job. Like, and they like have like him all in the mocap suit and stuff. That stuff's funny. Yeah, I mean, you know, overall it was kind of a nice, you know, reprieve. I just wish people would stop fighting. I really do.
Yeah, people have been very salty lately too.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why.
That salt like legitimately needs to go away. But I think the Nintendo people are actually the most, well, I can't really say that because I don't know if I have actually listened to any Nintendo people talk, but it's kind of, you know, the way that they're spouting videos is like, sounds like they're trying to defend Mario. It's like, why are you defending Mario? Like,
because it's called pre-damage control. It's like before it even happens, they start damage controlling, so that the impact of whatever is gonna happen isn't as bad.
Yeah, but like I mean, didn't like necessarily Nintendo do better than Sony? Like you can't really. It's not like you did like bad at E3. It's like so like how like that.
Oh, Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo.
Nintendo did okay. It's just that Nintendo is kind of screwed because they have no third-party support.
Yeah.
So it's like nobody has Nintendo. Like the only people that care about Nintendo are Nintendo people, and that's a problem.
Yeah, the guys that wear the Mario hats to work and pretend.
Yeah, those people are the only people that they have right now.
But no, it was kind of funny because I was actually like and then like the shade that was thrown like while I was in the hospital was funny because I was yeah, I'm back, Jimmy, I'm back. The shade that was being thrown at everybody was hilarious. And I won't mention any names because this guy needs to remain anonymous for the time being because I don't want to expose him. But it was kind of funny because this guy was like, it was kind of funny because he was like, he did a video on what real gamer or a fake gamer, and it was actually kind of funny because he was basically calling everybody out. Like everybody that was bitching over E3, he was like calling everybody's like a point of view like into like crosshairs. And like he actually talked to me on Facebook, and he's like, no, Reaper, just like stay, stay in bed and relax and chill. You don't need to say anything. You can just chill and relax and you can just like ride this one out and not say anything because everybody else is saying something. So it's like it's not like it's not YouTube will be there when you get back. But little did I know that he was actually going to like make a video that was like actually calling everybody out, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like that's.
It's like I didn't want you to be part of it.
It's like it's like punching me in the face, but not telling me you're gonna punch me in the face like while I'm in the hospital bed. Like that's kind of screwed up. Now most of that stuff probably wasn't directed like at me, but it was like directed at like the people that was like basically defending E3 because they think it was all high and mighty when in reality it actually wasn't. But it was kind of funny because like when I watched that video when I got home, I was like, damn, so that's why that guy was being mad nice to me.
Wow. Well, I think overall E3 was average.
I mean, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
I mean, I just don't
at all.
I just don't like the head of people lying to me. He didn't lie. I can't say that. He did not lie. He tricked me. He tricked us with indies. He tricked us with indies and not.
He didn't lie, and they're not all indies, T-Reaper. People need to stop saying that because that sounds like another bullshit statement against Xbox, and I'm tired of hearing those.
Technically, only 4 are all AAAs. Technically, all 4 are AAAs. Like you have Life is Strange. That's an actual indie. Playground Battlegrounds is an indie. Ori and the Blind Wisp automatically kills you if you actually put that on stage. That's an indie. What is the other one? The one that looks like plaster. I know that sounds really bad, but don't worry about it because I'll think of what that actually is. What is that? What is that new title that they came out with? The guy.
Which one?
The guy that.
Super Lucky Steel.
Nope, that's also an indie. Thank you for that's not the one I'm talking about though. It's the new one where the guy was around the campfire. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
The Darwin Project or whatever?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, but that's also an indie. Like I could go on and on. Like it's like he.
Hey, just because a game is an indie doesn't mean it's bad. There's big indies. Like not all indies are tiny. Wasn't The Witcher an indie?
Yeah, but that's actually technically half an indie. It's actually not technically a full indie. So technically it's a half an indie because like the CG Project Red is the indie studio, and then the other studio that publishes it is not an indie studio. So like it's a half indie. But Witcher, I'm not saying that indies can't grow to be big, but I was having this discussion at a party, and it was actually kind of true because it's the case. It's like indies are like training wheels for games. Like they're like they're training wheels for bikes. So the bikes are the games, and the indies are the ones that actually help it ride. And then if a bike actually doesn't need its training wheels anymore, it turns into a real bike. So it's like, games like Minecraft are no longer considered, tiny indies anymore because they're like multi-billion-dollar exclusives, or games like Witcher. But technically that's not technically how you want to rule your industry. And if that's really the way that Phil Spencer wants to do that, like, I can't really say I support him doing that, because he's gonna alienate like half the player base by doing that. I know there are player bases that
think so?
That I think that, but I know there are people that love those games. I don't get me wrong. I know there are people that love those games, but I'm personally not one of them. So like, I don't play my Xbox to play indies. That's not something I buy my Xbox for, or for that matter, like my 3 Xboxes. I don't buy them for indies.
I feel like the way that he did it was genius. He's trying to make the indies
Well, he
more
tricked us.
they normally would be.
He did that. He did that in such a genius way that, like, people can bitch at him now, but they wasn't gonna be able to understand what he meant. He's like, don't worry, we'll show you games at E3. We'll show you exclusives at E3. I mean, he wasn't technically lying, because he did. He just didn't show you the quality that you expected him to show you. But then everybody's like saying, don't worry, more is coming at Gamescom and it will be better. I'm like, how? Like, unless you show me a Halo, I don't really understand how you can actually show me something better.
Well,
okay.
I don't know. I don't care if the game. I don't really care if a game's indie or not. If the game looks good, like visually and plays good.
I mean that Ori and the Wisp looks
content.
gorgeous, but it's just like, it's not my type of game. So it's like, it's kind of like, it's.
Oh, I don't care about that game either.
Yeah, like that game doesn't look like. And then Life is Strange, but like, he was lining. It was like a lineup of a chess piece. Like, he was like, I'm gonna put my queen here. I'm gonna put my pawn here. I'm gonna put my bishop here, and then I'm gonna checkmate you.
Yeah, basically.
And it was kind of funny because Sony, that's how Sony lost E3. But it was brilliant because, he technically didn't lie. He technically cheated, like, the expectations of everybody who he was talking to on Twitter. And he's a brilliant person, because
I will say this. I didn't mind the indies, but some of, like, the really stupid looking indies kind of, like, ruined the quality of the conference. Like, there was a couple of them that were just like, why are you even showing me this? This is retarded.
Yeah, like, and that's kind of the sad part of how Microsoft won E3. But they only won because Sony legitimately couldn't release anything of worth that was, like, worth standing in 2017. And when I say that, I mean worth standing. So they could release Lost Legacy, which is a DLC, standalone DLC for Uncharted, which is basically a Tomb Raider knockoff. Good for you. And they have the Horizon Zero Dawn, that is also a Tomb Raider knockoff. Not Tomb Raider, Terminator. So it's like a Judgment Day knockoff. I don't think it has a release date yet. But that's also supposed to come out this year. And then you have the VR game. Other than that, everything else is slated for 2018. But then on the Microsoft side, you have Forza, you have Crackdown, and you have the Xbox X release. Now, the Xbox X release automatically trumps everybody because it's a console release. Now, and that's just my way of thinking. I, like, you don't agree.
Yeah.
You don't agree, you don't have to agree.
You can't beat new. It's really hard to beat new hardware.
Yeah, hardware, like, trumps everything. So it's like, if they have new hardware, that, like, trumps, like, everybody's lineup. But it's like, but that doesn't necessarily mean everybody's going to buy it, which is also true. So, like, that's kind of the way of, like, personal thinking. But, like, I personally think that the way that everybody is, like, looking at the X is like, and like, even Crap said this. He's like, the X is coming out. Why is everybody still bitching? And I'm like, because it's the media.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Like,
no matter what happens, they just kind of like.
If you got a girl pregnant, did you not expect her to bitch because her hormones are high? Like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't.
That is an interesting analogy.
Like, it doesn't work like that way. Like it seriously doesn't work that way. Like it's like just because like the X is coming out doesn't mean people aren't gonna bitch. It doesn't solve everybody's problems. And I was saying this like earlier in the year. Remember, like this isn't gonna solve everybody's problems. Like when like next gen and like BGST were like spouting this as the next coming of Jesus, I was like, this isn't.
It kind of is though. Like it's not a small deal because Resolution has been like the biggest thing this whole gen, and like no one cares anymore. But like they should still care.
But you still see like Digital Foundry wrecking it to pieces, and people like crap complaining. Like I still don't understand why people are surprised that happens. Like people are going to wreck this thing because they don't want it to succeed. And then when you got Sony having all the third-party titles, which is inevitably going to happen because they have the most money. Although I don't know if if sources are true, how long that's actually going to last. If the lawsuit is actually going to happen. And if anybody doesn't know about this lawsuit, supposedly, this isn't coming from me, I heard this from somebody, supposedly Sony is going to get a lawsuit because they failed to pay their PS3 manufacturers. So,
really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So, remember how many PS3 were manufactured back in the day? Yeah, those people didn't get paid. I wonder how much that bill is going to be. Yeah.
Sony is always doing something fucked up, I swear.
Yeah, so, you like that, and you heard it from me. If that actually is true, which I don't know if it is, because I heard it from a friend who actually heard it through the grapevine, they might actually go bankrupt this time, because they're only at like 30 or 40 billion, and depending on how much they want to sue them for, they might actually sue them for all they have. So, like, yeah, I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but, like, you got like
wow.
That's that's kind of a heavy toll. Like you don't pay your
big deal.
Yeah, you don't pay your PS3 people, and your PS3 is actually what beat the 360, which is it took them a couple years to actually do it, but it did happen. But
I mean, they didn't really beat the 360. Like the 360 sold
at the end it did
way more. Yeah, but that's across the world. Like and like, no offense to like people in other countries, but people in America buy the most. People in Europe buy the most. And in Europe, I think they won by like a little bit. And in America, they were getting trumped by the 360.
Don't use.
And those are really the only two places. Yeah, right.
No, but just
they were literally getting trumped.
Just imagine how many PS3s were made and weren't being paid for. So it's like, yeah, depending on how much that stacks up to be, like, yeah, I'm kind of curious how badly that lawsuit will actually hit Sony. So now you understand, like, that yeah, I mean, I don't know. I personally don't. I don't know if I'll take this with a grain of salt, really, because I don't really know how true this lawsuit is. But considering how badly like Sony like took a dip last generation from lawsuits, like I'm kind of skeptical because like they just recovered from being in lawsuits. So it's like they want to get hit with another one, and this one might actually kill them. Like, yeah,
this one sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, that actually might actually kill them if someone doesn't buy them. Because if someone like Amazon or God forbid Microsoft buys them, then they could be.
If Microsoft buys Sony, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
That would be the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, they can't do that.
No, Sony won 2 years later. Like they're owned by Microsoft.
Yeah, they can't do that because the government bylaws and shit. They can't do it. The Microsoft wants to, but they can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they can't. Yeah, by government bylaws, they actually can't buy them. They Amazon could. Amazon could. I think Google actually has enough money to buy them. Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. Yeah. But like the problem with Amazon buying them is they know nothing about game development. They know a lot about like video, but they don't like. So they could run their movie industry, but they couldn't run the PlayStation division. So it's like it's kind of hard there.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Google. I could see that. I mean, I don't know how.
Maybe Apple will buy them. I don't know.
Yeah, Apple's the other one. Yeah, Apple's the leading. Well, I think is still the leading market share, by a little bit over Microsoft actually. But the But I don't know. I don't know if Apple would actually do that. That would actually be kind of interesting. You know, Apple uses phones and it uses the PlayStation to run the world. Who's actually selling? Who owns Samsung?
Samsung, I don't know. I think LG.
Yeah, you have to have a company that has at least like 60 billion or more to buy Sony, because they're worth like between 30 and 40, and depending on how much, like this lawsuit might actually not kill them, so it might, they might stay in business, but I highly, really highly doubt it, because it depends on how much of the manufacturer was like not being paid for. So it's like, and then it depends how much the manufacturers want to sue them for. So it's like but it's like coming up in a couple months. But I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't think I could imagine this world without Sony. Like I think
I can.
Like I mean I could, but it wouldn't be a pretty picture. You just have like little Mario and little Master Chief like playing together in the playground and be like, "Where's Kratos?"
Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? Where's Kratos? Where'd he go?
Wow, they'll be like dancing, like, yeah, we have no more competition.
That's a really screwed up joke. Don't take me seriously on that. But that's like that's
where's
like,
Kratos?
Like where'd he go? But this is like, or you got Link, and Zelda, playing with Master Chief, and then like. He's like, Kratos comes up to them. I'm like, can I play with you guys? Like, no, you're no part of it. You're no longer part of this. You went bankrupt.
Sorry, you don't exist anymore.
You know that?
No, how about like he's like a ghost, so they can't see him. And he's just like, hello? Why can't you guys see me?
That's like a perfect episode of Family Guy.
Yeah, right.
That's like a perfect
I can see that happening.
That's like a perfect episode of Family Guy, like right there. Like that would be funny. But like I don't know. Like everybody's just like complaining for no reason and like bitching about shit that just doesn't need to be really bitched about. Like it's like the second coming is like coming, but like no one really like is like taking it like to the extreme that people should like give a shit about. Like the X is coming. The X is coming. Like
it is coming.
I mean,
it's
not like Wolverine is gonna come out of your backyard and basically stab you to death.
The X is like this crazy beast. That's why everybody likes it.
Yeah, but it's still not FCC approved yet, which really makes me mad. I want that. I want to give them my money. And then everybody's like saying, "Oh, Reaper, you're crazy." And I'm like, "No, I just want to give them my money so I can buy the stupid shit. Like I want to buy my X." And then everybody's like saying, "Like Reaper, are you gonna upgrade?" I'm like, "If FCC get off their ass and basically approves the shit, yeah." And then
there is no power greater than X. That's what I've been hearing a lot.
Well, there is powerful greater than X. It's called the FCC because they have to approve it to make the power greater than X.
Oh shit! Shots fired.
Power has to be there first. It has to be approved by the FCC. And people are all spouting that it has to be waiting for Gamescom. Like, why do you have to wait till Gamescom to approve it? Like,
well, that's what they say their plan is. So maybe they have something in mind for Gamescom. I don't know.
I mean, like,
that's what I think. They're gonna show Crackdown, and then they're gonna be like pre-order.
Well,
they're gonna show like the multiplayer that everybody actually cares about.
This was hilarious. This was funny. I was watching this in my hospital bedroom. And I was watching this on my computer, and I was listening to IGN Unlocked. If anybody hasn't watched this like podcast, it's really funny because you think Digital Foundry is bad. Wait till you watch IGN Unlocked out on the E3 thing.
You would think they would be better. But no.
They legitly like kill Microsoft. They legitly like throw shade in every direction. Like it's like worse than watching like Iron Wolf. It's seriously worse than it's worse than watching Iron Wolf shade. Like it's bad. And no pun against Iron Wolf. He's cool, but you know, he legitimately like find like or Rambo, like Rambo finds the faults in everything. Like that's worse. Like you know, it's worse than
them.
It's worse than them. Like IGN was like legitimately saying, well, Crackdown trailer was good, but it wasn't the trailer that would make me want to buy it. But I'll still buy it anyway. You know, you had the X review, but you didn't have it FCC approved, so yeah, another fail there. Like, and you have all these shots being fired, and it was just hilarious because, like, I was basically mostly sick at the time, but I was still finding comedy to laugh because it was like, yo, these guys are tearing these people apart. I'm like, yo, these guys are mad. Like and these guys are mostly ponies. Like they claim they're bots, but no, they are ponies. Like anybody who says like nobody at IGN is a bot, like they are legitly ponies. Like they just pretend to put on a bot show. They're, you know, not even Ryan McCaffrey, who like is like a little complete dick.
Supposed to be the Xbox guy. He's really an Xbox guy.
He's supposed to be the Xbox neutral, but he is a pony. Well, I don't necessarily would have called him a pony because he kind of looks at everything, but he looks at everything with like that like opinion that like everybody hates, but he kind of makes logic. Whereas like Dustin and Larry are like all ponies, so they kind of make the pony logic, but the pony logic is more sensible because you automatically know they're ponies, so they automatically know which like side they play on. So it's like, but they were actually like giving a lot of support to Destiny. Like what does everybody think about that Destiny 2 game? Like I know Halo says that game is garbage. Garbage. Yeah, but in the IGN thing, they were saying like the PC version is dope. Like when you switch from PC to console, like you're like legitimately crippling yourself. Like that's like basically that. It's cool to play it on console, but
yeah.
PC.
Good job, Bungie. Way to divide the fan base.
It's like going from 60 to 30 is horrible.
Like that's totally fair. And it's not like it can't run 60 on console. It's just an old ass engine.
It's like, well, how old is the engine? I mean,
it's the Halo Reach engine.
Oh shit! So that's how old.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's old. Like it's not old. It's old. It's not good at all.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And people are like, the Xbox One X is too weak to run it. And I'm like, okay. There's a lot of reasons why that's not why.
Technically, that's not the reason why. The reason is why is because you're using a really old engine to run a really good, new-looking game. But I can't really say it's good because I haven't actually played it yet, and I won't for a couple months. So it's like, you gotta probably check back with me in like September and then actually get my opinion because, like, someone was asking me, like, what, because I have a whole bunch of games pre-ordered for the fall. I have Destiny 2 limited edition, so I have like the DLC and everything. I have the Wolfenstein game, which I can't wait to play. That looks actually really fun. I got the Assassin's Creed Origins Gold Edition. I got Shadow of War Mithril Edition, so I get the statue. I'm probably gonna do an unboxing of that. I got the Call of Duty Pro Edition, so I also have the Season Pass for that. I have the Battlefront 2 Regular Edition, Crackdown 3, and
I do not get why you would pre-order games. They're digital, right?
No, they're all physical. I just have to pick them up.
Okay.
I just have to pick them up. And then I have Far Cry 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. So like I actually have I have my like library all set up. And my question is, what game is actually going to like take me the longest to finish? And I'm predicting like right now, I think the games that are gonna take me the longest is between Shadow of War and Assassin's Creed. But I think Shadow of War is actually gonna take me longer. I really do because I figured that
it probably will. It's more of a it's a more polished game than Assassin's Creed is. So
yeah, but like I still think Assassin's Creed will take me a little bit of time. But I'm like. But I swear, like I love my YouTube buddies and everybody. But like if I beat all those games this fall before everybody, someone legitimately needs to buy me a whole bunch of liquor because I'm gonna be like
someone needs to get exposed.
Everybody needs to get exposed.
I love that word. I love it when people say exposed. It sounds so funny.
Like, it's kind of funny
Exposed.
because like Injustice 2 is one thing, but like if I beat all those games before everybody, yeah, something's wrong with everybody. It's kind of funny.
Like every single one, because you're trying to beat every single one,
Yeah,
and they still can't beat one
yeah,
of
but
them before you.
I'm gonna have that issue on with Wolfenstein and Assassin's Creed because they both come out on the same day, so I'm gonna have to pick one, and I'm obviously gonna pick Assassin's Creed first. So like someone might actually beat Assassin's Creed or beat Wolfenstein before me, because I'm gonna be focusing on Assassin's Creed, so that might be the only one I'll lose. But like I think everything else I'll actually beat first, but I'm gonna be like. Yo, if I somehow like beat Assassin's Creed and then Wolfenstein and still no one beats it, I'm gonna be like, yo, what's wrong with people? Like seriously, that's just like so really screwed up. But it's actually it was kind of funny because I was like, yeah, I beat a fighter when I don't actually play fighters before everybody, and I beat it on normal, and everybody was like still just like totally okay with it. But I was like. Yeah, you guys were the ones boasting about it, but like I still beat you all to it, like, and I did it in like a 5.5 hour gap between like a 12 hour.
It's because you rush your games. It's not their fault.
Well, no, because they all started at this. Well, 2 of them started at the same time. Like the rest of them all started at like 6 in the morning. But it was just like it was kind of funny because like everybody was like so preaching this game is gonna be awesome, but I'm like, yeah, I still kind of beat it before you though. So what does that make me? But it was a fun game. But like I don't think I'll definitely beat the Destiny 2 story, but I won't actually cap my character out. So I'm already predicting that. So like because I won't have enough time between September and October to actually like totally be like totally dedicated to it. Plus I don't know if I'm actually gonna dig the PvP part of it yet. So, but I definitely will meet a whole bunch of new people on the Destiny front though. Yeah, those Destiny players are like people like on narcotics and shit. Like that shit's dangerous. That shit's addictive. That shit's addictive. It's more addictive than World of Warcraft. Like that shit's really addictive.
Really? I didn't know that.
That shit's really addictive. Like I have a friend that like walked away from Destiny and lost like 20 friends. Like he
wow.
He legitly lost a lot of friends like walking away from Destiny because Destiny screwed him over. But it was like, you know, but the problem was like Destiny was such a intoxicating game that it was like, yeah, you kind of don't really want to be around this environment, you know, no matter how fun it is, because sometimes too much of a good thing is not really that much good for you.
That is true.
But anyway, I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. That pretty much does it for like my 2 cents for today. I probably will be back eventually. I am planning on doing a montage for 4th of July. I just don't know how I'm actually going to put it together. I did one for last year, so I'm going to do another one this year. But I do plan on doing another speech depending on how much crap I hear in the next couple days. I'll be on Next Gen's multiplayer tonight, so that will be there. Thank you, Halo, for coming by and, you know, keeping me company. I appreciate that.
No problemo.
This actually ran for 1 hour and 8 minutes, and we did actually have a decent amount of people. So thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I am feeling better, and just remember to treat your next gamer with, you know, respect and, you know, don't shoot.
Be nice to each other.
Don't shoot him with the BR. Don't shoot him with the sniper just because he has different views than you. It doesn't work that way. You know, and let's all keep fighting the good fight. And just remember, X is not Jesus. It's just another console. Like it's, you know, just like the Xbox One, except it does better resolution. Let's all just try to get along because we live in Trump America, and you know that healthcare bill is probably gonna kill us all eventually. So you know, let's try not to let gaming kill us in the meantime. It's not a very good message to send out to everybody. Thanks for everyone who stopped by, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks so much.